you once again. Give me 1 minute here. 1 minute. Okay. All right. Good morning. I'm back with you once again for some business notes here. And to start off this live stream, I'm going to talk about Canada's economy. As I'm seeing, this country has added 35,000 jobs. Now, that is good news for some people, but I would have to say that I have some mixed reactions about this. First of all, the jobs that they're talking about, I don't know what sectors they are, what sectors of the economy these jobs are from. And 35,000 jobs. That comes at a time, this stat comes at a time when most people are getting laid off from their jobs here in this country. And I don't know, 35,000 jobs. Like, where do they get this stat from? Where do these statisticians get this stat from? Because I haven't seen anything where most of these good jobs have been added, and what sectors these jobs are in and represent. And it can mean basically anything. It can mean entry-level jobs that are added. It can mean maybe medium jobs that are added. I mean, jobs that pay middle income to most people. And these jobs can mean low-income jobs that pay low income, and high-level jobs mean high income. I just don't know what they're talking about there. I mean, 35,000 jobs can mean entry-level jobs for all we know. So the stats that I'm hearing doesn't really say much. And most people these days here, they seem to be losing jobs, and most companies are laying off their jobs. So I don't know. I have kind of a mixed reaction to this stat. Like, is it like what companies are adding these jobs? Like, is it like furniture companies? Is it retail companies? Is it say government jobs? And I'll talk about the government in this live stream as well. But first, let me just delve into this stat: 35,000 jobs. Like, what could that mean? Like, which provinces have the highest job counts, or have the highest number of employees? Was it like Alberta? Is it British Columbia? Is it Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, or maybe even Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, let's see, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and Nunavut, or Northwest Territories, or Yukon Territories. Now that's interesting, because Nunavut, most people up there in Nunavut, the territories, but Nunavut especially, they're very, very poor. And that territory, the unemployment rate is probably very, very high. So this 35,000 jobs doesn't really represent the whole picture, doesn't tell the whole story in itself. And what demographics are working at these jobs? So what I'm seeing, what I've read in most business reports in this country, most visible minorities, especially Black people, they're getting turned away from these jobs and are being discriminated against in the job market. So that stat doesn't really tell a whole lot. And what demographics are taking these jobs? So I have a question mark right there. And you look at places like Northwest Territories and Nunavut, the unemployment rates are very, very high. I mean, hardly any businesses there or industries in these territories. That's the northern part of Canada. Maybe they're talking about the southern part of Canada. I'm not really sure. But still, the majority of people taking these jobs are the majority of the population. That is the British and the French, white people taking these jobs. So I have a question mark right there, but nonetheless, it's a good thing for most of the Canadian press. Now, I'm going to go on to CRA, Canada Revenue Agency. That's the second topic I'm discussing. And word has it, most CRA employees, they're going on strike. Now, I don't know why this is the case, but when a company goes on strike or employees go on strike, there's maybe some indicator that there's some problems within the organization. Now, I've heard stories of people going on strike in most businesses, either the retail businesses, services businesses, or professional businesses. These companies going on strike. But this is the first time I've heard of a government agency having its employees go on strike. This is the first time I've heard it. So I don't know. Something is going on with the CRA. I don't know. Maybe they're not collecting enough money in taxes, or maybe they're lowering the tax bill for most seniors in Canada. I'm not really sure why they're going on strike, because CRA is pretty much a government agency. And the government, they have lots of money in their arsenal. They have lots of money in assets. Because think about this, you can't run a country without money. That's just plain simple. Just as you can't run a business without money. So that's something to ponder on. So I don't know why they're striking. Them to go on strike, I don't know. They can't really collect the money in order to provide services to the elderly, to the disabled, and for, say, maybe low-income people that are very, very low in funds. So that's kind of suspect to me, of people working in the government, CRA, just going on strike. Now, I don't know how many people there are going on strike. Doesn't say, but I would say maybe thousands of people of employees are in their CRA organization going on strike. I'll have to look more into that, though. Okay, and finally, we're going to end this stream talking about Kia. Now, Kia has a three-row SUV, and they're electrifying their vehicle. I think, in fact, I think within this decade, or at the end of this decade, Kia will probably electrify all their vehicles. And this SUV is getting an electric makeover. They're electrifying the car. Now, whether or not it will sell for Kia, it remains to be seen. But what I know is that it seems to me the requests for electric vehicles are going up. I mean, maybe most Kia owners, they're fed up with the cars that have highly combustible engines. You need gasoline for their engines. And for them electrifying their vehicles is maybe a start in the right direction for the car company. Korean automaker. So whether or not it still sell, it remains to be seen. But I'm seeing this shift of not just with Kia, but with Hyundai too, and other major auto players or automakers that are in this industry. And in the future, I'll probably talk about some other automaker that hasn't really kept up with the times, or most automakers from a particular country hasn't kept up with the demand. And as a result, they're falling way behind when it comes to attracting customers. But I'll do that in a future live stream. But for now, this is Kia. Now I'm going to talk about Kia. Now, Kia, the Korean automakers, are electrifying a lot of their vehicles, and this SUV is no exception. What the cost of the SUV will be, it remains to be seen. But yeah, they're really getting into the electrical vehicle game in order to compete against the likes of Tesla, which I spoke about previously, and probably you'll find in a future live stream that I'm doing regarding business. But for now, that's all there is for this live stream commentary.